Okay, so in the last video I did the basic setup for this character. I did the idle walk and run. Um, so for this video I'm going to do the weapon equip. So he can equip the gun, or he can be in a melee combat mode and he can throw punches and kicks. So first I'm going to hop into the script, and I'm going to start off by creating a variable. The first one is going to be a float, and I want to give it the name equip number, and by default it's going to be 0. I'm going to go into the update function, and here I'm going to say if equip number equals 0, then do whatever's in the brackets. I'm going to copy this twice more, else if equip number equals 1, and else if equip number equals one thing that I forgot is over here I have these functions where it checks for it checks the new input system for the right mouse button. So if context is performed, then equip input equals true. If not, then equip input equals false. So if the button is pressed, I need to say if equip input equals true, meaning if the button is pressed, then check for all these. So in each of these I have to say if the button is pressed and equip number is equal to 0, then it gets set to 1. If equip number is equal to 2, or if equip number is equal to 1, then it gets set to 2. And if equip number is equal to 2, then equip number gets set to 0. So it loops back around like this. So if equip number is 0, meaning he's not in fighting stance or he's not aiming gun, then animator dot set bool is fighting is true. If equip number is 1, then animator dot set bool is fighting is false, and animator dot set bool is aiming is true. Over here, if he's aiming and the button is pressed, then it goes back to normal mode. So animator dot set bool is aiming is false. Okay, so I'm going to compile this and try this out. I'm gonna hop back into the editor. Gonna hit play. So if I walk around and just say I hit the middle mouse button, Then he goes into fighting stance. You can run around. If I press it again, he goes into shooting mode, which is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to stop that. I need to go back into the script, and I'm going to create some more variables. So um, public game object gun back, public game object gun wrist right. So if you remember, the gun in the back is visible at the moment, and the one in the wrist is invisible. So if his aiming is true, then gun on the back dot set active is false. Gun wrist right dot set active is true. And when I unequip the gun and go into regular mode, then it gets reversed. Gun back dot set active is true. Oops. And gun wrist right dot set active is false. Another thing that I need to add when equip number is 2 is the transform dot rotation. The rotation of the character is equal to quaternion dot Euler 0 in the x, the y is camera rig dot transform dot Euler angles dot y, and z is 0. Quaternion. Oh, right here it's supposed to be an equal sign. So this camera rig was created up here. So basically what I'm doing is when the gun is equipped, he's basically going into third person mode, and he's constantly looking forward no matter where the camera is rotating. So basically his rotation is equal to the camera rotation. So that's what I'm doing there. Okay, I did that incorrectly. This script is correct, it's just in the wrong spot. I want to create another boolean called is aiming, and by default it's going to be false. And when equip number is 1, if equip number is 1 and the button is pressed and equip number is 2, that is when is aiming equals true, and when the button is pressed again, is aiming equals false. So down here I need to create another set of if statements where it says if is aiming equals true, then transform Z. And I can just get rid of this. Okay, I'm going to compile that. I forgot to add one thing. I created another boolean called canEquip equals true. The reason I did that is because these buttons aren't perfect, so even if the player presses it once, it might trigger it more than once. So it's going to cycle through a bunch of these states instead of just doing it once. So if the button is pressed and canEquip equals true, automatically this gets set to false. CanEquip is equal to false. And after it goes through all this, it does start coroutine canEquip, which triggers IEnumerator canEquip. Oops. And after 1 second, this canEquip is set to true. I actually forgot to type in wait for seconds. So yield return new wait for seconds. So after 1 second, canEquip is set to true, which basically means I can only press the middle mouse button once every second. So if I go back into the editor, I shouldn't forget to drag and drop the gun. So the gun on the back, which is attached to the chest, goes into this field here. And the gun in the wrist goes right here. So with that done, I'm going to press play. So if I press the button, he's in fighting mode. If I press it again, he's in aiming. If I press it again, he's in normal mode. So everything is working in proper sequence now, which is great. Okay, so another problem is the camera is not moving into position when he's aiming. So under here, I'm going to create some empties. The first one's going to be called cam location, and it's going to be the same position as the camera. So I'm going to copy the position from the camera, and I'm going to paste it into the cam location. So this new empty that I just created is in the same spot. I'm going to duplicate. Whoops. I'm going to rename this to cam cam aim location. So if this one is, if the cam location is there, then the aim location should be a little bit to the right, closer to the player, and with maybe a slight rotation, like that. I'm not sure. First I'm going to try it out and adjust it as I go. So I think that should be good. So I'm going to hop back into the script. So back in the script, I'm going to create some more variables. So public game object. Oh, sorry, public camera called cam. Public game object dot cam location and public game object cam aim location. So if equip number equals 0, that means cam dot transform dot position equals vector 3 dot move towards cam dot transform dot position, which is basically its starting position, to cam location cam location dot transform dot position, comma, I want to put 2, which is the speed, times time dot delta time. Actually, this bit of code needs to go down here. Sorry. I'm going to paste it again, except I want to change the names to rotation. This one's going to be rotate towards, this isn't a vector 3, this is a quaternion, rotate towards, transform, rotation, rotation. The speed is going to be 10. So this is when the character is aiming the gun. When the character puts down the gun, then it goes to, oh sorry, up here this is cam aim location. And when he puts the gun down, it goes to cam location. Okay, so I'm just going to compile that. This incorrectly. I need to put those into else if is aiming equals false. So I forgot that this only happens when the button is momentarily pressed. So it's not gonna, even though it's in the update function, it's not gonna update. So I need it to constantly update. So if aiming is true, then all this goes here. And I can delete that. And if it's false, if aiming is false, then all this goes in here. And I'm going to compile that. Okay, I forgot to parent these to the camera, I believe. So it has to be under the camera. So if I hit play, So middle mouse button, fighting position, and if I press the middle mouse button again, everything looks okay. The only problem is his spine is not rotating with the gun, so if I'm aiming up, then he's still aiming forward. If I'm aiming down, he's still aiming forward. So I'm going to fix that now. So the first thing that I have to do is under Windows. Oh, sorry. Is it Windows? Oh, Package Manager. Yep, Package Manager. I need to click on Unity Registry. It's taking a while. When this loads up, you just drag down, you look for animation rigging, and you click install. So I've already done it, and when it's installed, it creates this menu up here. So with this, I'm going to open up default pose. I'm going to select the armature, and I'm going to click rig setup. This only works with the armature. So if I open this up, when I clicked on rig setup, it created this here. And I'm going to right click on it, and then I'm going to create an empty, and I'm going to name it aim. So with this new aim that I created, with that selected, I'm going to go here, add component, multi-aim constraint, and now it's asking me for several things. It's asking me for which bone I want to constrain, so I'll just go with the spine 1, put that there. With the spine 1 selected, make sure I'm in local, not global. As you'll see, the up is Z, and the forward is negative Y. So it's asking me for that too. So the aim axis is minus Y, and the up axis is Z. And it's also asking me for the source object. It's asking me. It's going to ask me after I press this. It's going to show this field, and I need to dump in what it's aiming at. So what I got to do is I have to under the camera, I'm going to create an empty object. It's going to be called aim look at. Oops. So I'll just bring it up. The gun that he's aiming with is almost up to his head level, so I'll bring it up pretty high, and I'll put it somewhere here. And then I'm going to select this aim again, and I'll just drag and drop it into here. You have to make sure that it's printed under the camera, because it's the camera that's rotating, and that's what's going to drive his rotation. So right now, the way it's set up, it's gonna rotate all the time, regardless of whether he's aiming or not. But we don't want that. We only want him to rotate um, when he's aiming, and we want this basically to be shut off when he's not aiming. Okay, so I'm going to hop back into the script, and I'm going to create some more variables. The first one's going to be called public game object aim, and I'm going to create a multi aim constraint. Oh, first I need to type in using Unity engine animation dot rigging. Is it animations? Okay, maybe it's animations. Using Unity engine animation. Here's just one. Actually, I'm not too sure. I'm gonna double check that. Okay, it turns out it was correct. It was Unity engine dot animations with an S dot rigging, and right right here I'm going to create a multi-aim constraint called multi-aim constraint. Um, the start function, I need to go multi-aim constraint equals aim dot get component multi-aim constraint. So basically what I'm doing is this value is going to be from this aim, which is basically going to be this aim here. I'm getting a reference to this multi-aim constraint that's attached to this aim. So with that done, if aiming is true, then multi-aim constraint dot weight equals 1. If he's not aiming, the weight is 0. The weight is basically I believe this is the weight here. Oh, sorry, it's this here. So when he's not aiming, that value is going to be 0. So I'm going to compile that. Okay, back in the editor, I just have to make sure that with the Futuristic Soldier selected, I have another field here for the aim, so I just have to drag and drop this aim into here. So now, if I go and hit play, the middle mouse button, he's in fighting mode. If I press the middle mouse button again, he's aiming. But if I aim down, as you can see, he rotates down too. If I aim up, he's aiming to the sky. So it's not 100% perfect, but I think it's definitely better. Okay, so the last thing that I want to do is I want to implement the punches and kicks. So in order to do that, I'm going to go into the animator, and from the animations, I'm going to drag and drop the punches and kicks. Punch left, punch right, kick left, and kick right. And I'm going to rename this to punch left, punch right, kick left, and kick right. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some triggers. First one is going to be punch left, punch right, kick left, and kick right. So I need to make transitions for all of these. From the fighting pose. So when he's in fighting pose and the left mouse button is pressed, he's going to do one of these, but he's going to, as soon as the animation is done, it's going to trigger back this way. So on the way here, it's going to be punch left. So punch left plays the animation and then bounces back without condition. There's no condition required here. Same for these ones. So punch right, kick left, and kick right. So I just have to code this now. So in the script, I am working with on void attack. If contact's performed, then attack input is equal to true. And in the same way, I want to create another boolean called boolean can attack is equal to true. The update function, I'm going to say if attack input equals true, which is from down here. If the button is pressed, then attack input is true, and can attack is true as well. Then automatically can attack It's going to be set to false. And then I'm going to do start coroutine can actually all of this stuff that I just did has to be outside here to delete this. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this to, and then I'm going to change it to can attack my numerator after 1 second. Can attack is equal to true. So I also need to create another float called which attack. By default it's 0. So if which attack equals 0, then do stuff in these brackets. Which attack is going to be set to 1. I'm going to copy and paste these 3 times. 1, 2, 3, except these are else ifs. Which attack is 0, 1, 2, 3. So if it's 0, then it's set to 1. If it's 1, then it's set to 2. If it's 2, then it's set to 3. And if it's 3, it's set to 0. Need to add the animation trigger. So animator dot set trigger punch left. Just copy and paste these. So the second one's going to be punch right. Kick left. And kick right. So when the attack button is pressed, then and can attack is true, then can attack is set to false. After it goes through start coroutine, so after 1 second, it gets set to true again, the can attack, which means the button can only be pressed once every second. So I'm going to compile that and see if that works. Okay, I'm just going to go back into the editor and try this out. I'm going to hit play. Okay, so if I hit the middle mouse button, he's in fight position. And if I hit the left mouse button, it goes punch left, punch right, kick left, and kick right. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I hit the middle mouse button, games. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so I'm going to cut it off here. That's all I wanted to do for this project. I just wanted to do this entire setup with the new input system. So that was the whole point. I'm not going to do any more of this project. So hopefully you enjoy that, and hopefully I'll see you in future videos. Okay, thanks.